U.S. President Donald Trump said Tuesday that a planned meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un might not take place as scheduled. It may not work out for June 12, Trump told reporters during a White House meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in, who is in Washington to discuss the U.S.-North Korea summit. North angry again as world media gathers for nuke shutdown. "We're moving along," Trump said. "We'll see what happens. If it doesn't happen, maybe it will happen later. You never know about deals. I've made a lot of deals. You never really know. There are certain conditions we want, and I think we'll get those conditions," Trump said, without providing details. "If we don't, we won't hold the summit," Trump said. He made his comments with Moon sitting next to him in the Oval Office of the White House. During a meeting with Moon in April, Kim had declared an era of peace, but Pyongyang canceled another round of talks scheduled for last week, citing joint U.S.-South Korea military exercises, which had been long planned. Trump said Tuesday that Kim would be extremely happy if the two sides reach a deal on denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. He praised the North Koreans, "hardworking, great people. We are looking at two Koreas," Trump said, referring to a possibility of Korean reunification. "Maybe in the future they will go back to one Korea." When Kim met Moon, a historic summit and a handshake, Moon arrived in Washington on Monday and met with Trump for about 2 hours on Tuesday at the White House. He is also scheduled to meet with senior U.S. administration officials. Moon said through a translator that he had every confidence that Trump could make a deal with Kim and formally end the Korean War, which was halted by an armistice in 1953, and bring peace and prosperity for North Korea. Earlier in the day, Chung Eui-yang, South Korea's national security advisor, expressed optimism about the continued prospects for the meeting, telling reporters during the flight to Washington, "We believe there is a 99.9% chance the North Korea-US summit will be held as scheduled, but we're just preparing for many different possibilities," the South Korean Yonhap news agency quoted Chung as saying. Also before Trump's comments, two U.S. lawmakers had expressed their support for the planned meeting with Kim. Representative Steve Russell, an Oklahoma Republican who serves on the House Armed Services Committee, said it was in the U.S.'s best interest to continue to try to have the meeting, since Kim's willingness to negotiate with the U.S. is unlike any time in the past. Russell said the dynamics among stakeholders in the region was also different. "It's important to see not only our allies in the region, but also the leadership of China, have joined the diplomatic efforts on the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula," he said. Trump's ultra-hawkish security advisor hails Libya as model for North Korea's denuclearization. Representative Ted Lieu, a California Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, said that North Korea had wanted a summit with the U.S. for a long time. Both sides could declare victory and then go forward with a long process of getting to an eventual deal, he said. All the three countries, South Korea, North Korea and the U.S., have big incentives to have this summit actually happen, Lieu added. However, Lieu cautioned that the U.S. and South Korea may have differences that the two presidents will need to address during their meeting, including whether a military option should be considered against Pyongyang if diplomacy fails. The Trump administration is more willing to use the military force than the South Korean government, Lieu said. But both are very aligned on at least having diplomacy and sanctions as their first option. The North Korean state KCNA news agency had criticized the large-scale 2018 Max Thunder air combat drill throughout South Korea and Japan, which started on May 11, as a bid to make a preemptive air strike at the DPRK and win the air. Opinion: North Korea's summit threat may not be so bad. The KCNA dispatch said the drill was an extremely provocative and voting act going against the trend for peace and security in the Korean Peninsula and dialogue atmosphere. Nuclear-capable B-52 bombers and stealth F-22 fighter jets are involved in the drills, KCNA said. After North Korea's objection to the military exercises, the U.S., South Korea and Japan agreed to shift at least 2 nuclear-capable B-52 bombers from a planned route not to fly over the Korean Peninsula, according to a CNN report on Friday citing 2 U.S. defense officials.